North of us, though, it's pretty stormy up in Oklahoma and in far north Texas. So hopefully that'll avoid us.
Yeah, hopefully so, but you did touch on it. It is warm and steamy out here today. We actually set a record in DFW area for the highest dew point ever today. Tied a record at 80 for the dew point. I don't know if you're a weather nerd or not, but
I'm a little bit.
It's pretty darn hot.
Yeah, it's very, very hot. For one thing, a dew point is not only an indication of the moisture that the air is holding, but it is also a really good indicator of what the low temperature is going to be. If you have high dew points, it's not going to cool off very much, which means our high, which I heard coming in today, our low overnight is supposed to be about 78 or so. That's a pretty high low temperature.
Yeah, that's a pretty warm low temperature, no doubt about it.
So
our first average day of 100 degrees is July the 1st. Looks like we're going to hit that tomorrow or the next day, right? I
think
a little early in the summer for that. But
so stay hydrated and check on the pets and everybody that might need help.
Check on me and Jim sitting out here.
Yeah, exactly. Check on us at about 5:55 if we haven't wrapped up the show by then. On we go to today's races. We're fast and firm. First post in 59 minutes. Race 1. Everybody's in for $50,000 here, although there is also an optional allowance condition on this, non-winners of 2 races. 3/4 of a mile is the distance here in a field of 6.
Yeah, let me have the horse on the inside rail. Number 1, Bling, Bling, Bling. This is a horse that we've seen out here at Lone Star Park 4 different times. Horse has had a couple wins and a second from those 4 starts. If you look back, this horse is a stakes winner as well. Won the Staunch Avenger division of the Texas Stallion Stakes right here at Lone Star Park last year. Won that race by 6 1/4. Won another division of the Texas Stallion Stakes back at Sam Houston earlier this year. As of late, this horse picked up a win last time out. That was at this 6 furlong distance. A couple seconds right before then. I think Bling, Bling, Bling is moving well. One of my horses that I like to see run out here. I think this horse takes the opener today. I'm a Cowboy. That's going to be my second choice. And then I got the 5 Guitar Boy as my third selection. This horse did pick up a win 2 starts back. That was right here on our track. 5-1 morning line on Guitar Boy. If you're looking for maybe one with some decent odds, that's the one I'd look at right there is the 5.
Yeah, those 3 all ran against each other on May 13th. They ran in the order that you and I have both picked them, 1, 2, 5. Bling, 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 I'm a Cowboy, Guitar Boy. These are only 3-year-olds, and they have, as you can see, basically been running against each other. Tapiture Jones is in that mix as well with I'm a Cowboy and all this bunch. The only outlier really is Morrow Outlaw, who was down in Louisiana with a different trainer, and then Broberg claimed him, and now he's kind of joined this group as well. But so these guys are familiar with each other. I think Bling, 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 who's my pick as well, satisfied a little bit of concern about seconditis and whether he had kind of lost that winning touch with that last race. Opened up a pretty persuasive lead and then did hold sway late. So I'm going to go back with him. I think it could be a very good night for the Asmussen barn. I don't know if Steve's here tonight. Sometimes on Thursday he's here. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he may get to pose for some pictures, at least according to my picks. Second race, this is what I call an Asmussen special because I've got him with the exacta here. 5/8 on the turf, fillies and mares, 3 and up, which have not won 2 races.
Yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit different way. I'm going to pick the 1 once again here. Piece of Me is the name of this 4-year-old filly. Now, last time out was the first time and only time this horse had ever been on a turf course. Won that race by 6 1/4. Now, it did come over in Bossier City at Louisiana Downs, so a little bit tougher competition over here at Lone Star Park. The horse has run 3 times out here on our track. Never picked up that win, never got second, but does have a couple thirds from those 3 starts. Has a win, like I said, at this 5 furlong turf distance. A big win last time out, led it all the way around the track. We'll see if Piece of Me can't come over here and like this grass over here in North Texas better than in Bossier City. But I think Piece of Me, 5-1 morning line odds, this could be a pretty good one to take a shot at here in race number 2.
I gave fairly serious thought to picking her. I looked at her race. I think it's fair to say she didn't beat much. It was a 12-5 maiden claimer at LAD. But when you're going out there like that and winning front end and you widen on the field, it really doesn't matter all that much who's behind you. It does, but I mean, she could very well step right in here and run well. She finished under considerable urging. It wasn't a 6 1/4 where they were gearing her down late, but it was still a good performance. I still lean toward the Asmussens. I'm actually taking Bit of Honey, who is the second choice on the line, that actually ran against a 7-5 favorite in Fly Condor last time and ran second to her. Also on the LAD turf course, just a few days after Piece of Me's. Their Beyer figs are similar. They're probably similar fillies. I'm going to lean toward Bit of Honey over Camaraderie, who, has a good style for this race. Was just beaten by a fellow Asmussen trainee at Houston back in April, and you go watch that race, you don't know how she lost that race. I mean, she opened up a 3-length lead, lost by a neck. She's been second 3 times in a row, so I'm going to pass on getting 2-1 on Camaraderie and see if I can get Bit of Honey home. If not, that rail filly doesn't just run away and beat them. On to race 3, 1 mile on the main track. Non-winners of 3 claiming $5,000 is the claiming tag, and these all happen to be older runners.
So I'll take that. I'll take an Asmussen horse here in this race. Number 1, Nuge is going to be my top choice. So through 3 races, I got 1-1-1 so far. I think easy to remember so far.
The short way home.
Yeah, it's a nice pick 3.
I wonder if this horse was named after Ryan Nugent Hopkins of the Edmonton Oilers, who they call Nuge. I kind of doubt it. It's a New York bred. If he were an Alberta bred, maybe.
Could be, yeah.
But I doubt it.
But, Nuge here. Nuge here. Steve Asmussen trained horse. You got to like those. His horse has won 2 out of the last 3 races, both those coming at Sam Houston. Most recently was at Louisiana Downs. You can see the horse got out of the gate well, was up there close early, but ended up just fading, beaten by 37 lengths. So occasionally,
that's basically walking in.
Occasionally, I like horses like that. So, sometimes I do. The horse got out there, fired quick, but I don't know what happened during the race. Maybe they
obviously
got out of it and said, you know what, we're going to wrap him up, save him for next time. There's a lot of horses shipping over from Louisiana Downs for Steve. I wonder if they rode on the same van over here.
Maybe.
But Nuge, this horse is in for the lowest tag claiming price of his career, so getting some class relief. We'll see what happens. Has never been out here on our track, but at Sam Houston, like I said, had a couple wins at Sam Houston, a second as well. So we'll see what happens with Nuge, but I'll go ahead and take a shot and put this horse on top. Then number 8, Jim and Jim is going to be my second selection, coming in off a win last time out. That was the first time this horse had stepped foot on our track. Now, it was a sloppy track that night. It was a 1-mile race just like this tonight. We'll see if that translates into a nice fast track. Nice run on the fast track for Jim and Jim here. 6-1 morning, 5-1 morning line on the horse. So I've got it 1-8 here in the third.
I'm going with the Diodoro Exacta here.
Right.
He has Liars Club, who's the morning line favorite, and Jim and Jim. I'm taking them in that order. I'm going with Liars Club, even though I think 8-5 is pretty short. He's no cinch. If I bold-faced my best picks like Rick does in the program, I wouldn't bold him. I just don't think he's that much of a cinch. But he's had a couple of really good works, which is a good sign. 2 of his last 4 works were best of the morning, which for Diodoro is a good sign because he doesn't always ask a lot. A lot of his trainees don't work that fast, but this guy's apparently loves it in the morning because he's working a hole in the wind, and he's only been recently, I say recently, but this is only his 3rd start for Diodoro. He's been with some other barns before. Nothing against the Wayne McKnight barn or the outfit that had him before that. But, he's hardly ever gotten a chance to run on dry dirt. Last time he was part of a favored entry at Hot Springs and faded to 5th after leaning in the stretch. I'm going to overlook that and hope that he's training well, and I'm going to take a shot on him here as the favorite. But on to the 4th. Boy, this race was tough. Scratch the 7, Lil Party Crasher. Tough sometimes at these bottom-level Texas-bred maiden claiming races means you can make some money because if you can buck the favorite, sometimes you have, a chance. I didn't buck the favorite in this one. Neither did you. Neither did Rick. We're all on Candy Tap. I think if she's half of what she was last fall, she beats this field. We'll see if that comes true.
Yeah, I mean that's the question mark on Candy Tap, right? This horse hasn't been in a race since November, back at Remington Park. It's only had 2 career starts. You looking back through some of these other horses, they got a lot more experience. But those 2 races that Candy Tap did run at Remington Park, both of them turned out pretty decent, finishing second in both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to Candy Tap. I mean, Austin Gustafson, the trainer, David Cabrera is going to ride tonight. I like it when those guys team up. They seem to have a good shot. That's why I went with the 2 here, Candy Tap.
Yeah, I mean, her races were against higher maiden claimers, open company. Now she's facing Texas breds. They were a long time ago, and she only has 2 published works. But, she's been training somewhere, but she's done the work she has to do to get in this race as far as the public works here. But I think she'll be fit enough. It's just a matter of, is she going to fire first time back, and is she the same filly she was when she was running for a little bit higher tags last year? There isn't enough in here to make me think that, if she's even 75% of what she was, she probably wins. Glitz and Glamour, could run well from the outside and deserves to be the second choice. But I'm going to go with the favorite here. I mean, I've been trying to beat those lower-level claiming maidens this meet, and had mixed success. But in that case, I'm not going to try to do it. On to the 5th. All older horses running in this one. This is a really good race. Even with the 1 hidden enemy out, that was my pick. I was going to try to beat the favorite Englander in here. Now, Englander is going to be a super short price, but I think has a really good chance to repeat. But these are older horses, allowance optional claimers, non-winners of 2 other than, or non-winners of 3, or claiming price $30K.
Yeah, so Englander, that's my choice here. I really like this horse. I've seen this horse out here at Lone Star Park over the years. Last time out, this horse was a scratch, and it really made me sad because I wanted to see this horse. I think it was Memorial Day this horse was scheduled to run.
I think both he and Don't Ask, Don't Tell were both entered and scratched off their 1-2 finish the time before.
But Englander, I mean, this horse has a lot of success out here on our track. 7 starts, has 3 wins, a couple seconds, and a third. So it's hit the board in 6 of 7. If you look, this horse has a couple wins at a mile and a 16th as well. Has a good turf record, winning 7 times out of 19 starts. Just looking back through it, I mean, this horse is always up there toward the front. I think Englander is the one that wins this race here. That's the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other nice ones in here. I mean, Fred's Twirling Candy is coming off a Sterling race, but, I mean, he may have kind of caught lightning in a bottle that day, and he has to go a furlong farther. I mean, he's run well on this course before, but I didn't use him today. I think Parrot Head has a chance based on his second to Fred's Twirling Candy on Memorial Day. But Johann Zoffany is my second pick. I picked him at 5-1 on June 4th here, and he ran okay. I mean, I was reaching a little bit there. It's been a while since Johann has won a race, but I think he's going to run into one of these days, find a field he can close on. He hasn't really been closing much. He's just kind of been sitting there about 4 lengths, 5 lengths off the lead, running around. This might be a day he can make it ground, but he's going to be trying to make up ground on Englander, who's really tough to overhaul. I mean, he's a quick and a hard trying guy. On to the 6th. All older horses in this one, 7/8 of a mile. This is a good old-fashioned $10,000 claimer, and I am going to try to beat Big Country here. I think I may be giving you and Rick a win, but I'm going to try to beat him today. But let's talk about Big Country first, because I mean, his last win was nice, and it was against allowance horses. It came a while back, but he's definitely the one to beat.
And I mean, that's why I like the horse. I mean, a win last time out, came out here on our track. I love horses that win on our track out here. That last win was pretty good. Came from off the pace to do it. Big Country, I mean, earned a big number, a big Equibase speed figure number in that one. Horse routed in that one, but, we're going to cut back to 7 furlongs today. Horse has only done that once. But even looking at those races at Oak Lawn, I mean, in some starter races up there with some decent fields, never was embarrassed, always was up there toward the front or in the mix. I think Big Country can get it done. I don't like 7-5, but you know what? I do think this is the best horse in the race.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me about him is he hasn't raced in a while, and he immediately, not immediately, but he went back to Asmussen's Louisiana Downs training base and comes back here. His works are kind of, but he's, let's face it, he's a $10,000 claimer who did have a lot of time off back from August of 21 to last fall. He's clearly the one to beat. Now, I didn't mention number 9, Dino's Cape, is out of here, scratched. So Big Country could even be even money now with Dino's Cape out. I'm going to try Charlie Can Do. Claimed by Caldwell last time out. His barn has obviously been firing on every cylinder. You get a jockey change. You get a barn change. You get a guy that, last time out he was in an off-the-turf affair, routing 7-1, didn't run much. Race before that, and before that he was overmatched. I just think getting down here with $10,000 horses, he's got a shot. He did win for Broberg going for $10,000 back around Thanksgiving at Remington last year, and that was going 7/8 of a mile just like today, or 6.5, I should say. I'm not saying that's the reason he's going to run well. I just think, you got a chance. He's not going to be 6-1 anymore because of the scratch of Dino's Cape, but you got a shot to maybe get a price if the favorite doesn't come through. But this could be another one for Asmussen. But I'm on Asmussen in the last race. We got a video to show you. This last race, a mile on turf, non-winners of 3 claimers. And that is a little bit of a step up for the mare we're going to look at, Autostrada. Now, take a look at this race by her. She's number 4 today, but she's number 5 in this race. Okay, let's count. 2, 4, 6. She's laying 7th on the inside. And she is in the white cap, right on the inside there, in about the 3rd flight, the blue silks with the white underneath. Those are the Asmussen silks. She's in like the 3rd flight on the rail. Stuart keeps her on the rail, and here she comes. She's moving into about 4th. Here she comes through the gap, Rodney, which she shows a lot of determination here. She gets racing room, but is able to get past about 4 mares and win that by a half length last time under Elliott. KG and Game Ride by Stewart. And look how she's galloping out, too. She's happy. Her ears pricked. She's way out ahead of everybody here on the gallop out. I like that. She was fairly well off the pace in that race. That was 7.5 on turf. She was laying 7th out of 10, 6 lengths back at the first point of call. And I think showed good determination to come through on the inside. She's the 4 tonight. Her race was well below what the Beyer par says you should have to run to win this one. And she's going from non-winners of 2 to non-winners of 3. But I'm going to take her right back and try Autostrada here. And what's a very wide open race. I mean, the morning line favorite's 3-1, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah, I like Autostrada. I mean, I picked this horse last time in that win, so I was really happy to see her close well on the inside there. But I went with True Blue Sky. That's the number 10 here in the final race. What I like about this horse has been on the turf only 2 times, has won both of those races. So you got to like that. Horse was claimed last time out by End Zone Athletics, Mr. Carl Broberg, as the trainer. He does very well with horses that are first time in his barn. So putting those things together, I think True Blue Sky can have a nice run from the outside tonight. Has 2 wins at the 1 mile distance as well. That's both those turf races. So, I mean, putting all these things together, to me, it seems like it's just working out for True Blue Sky.
Yeah, I mean, I like her too. I took her second mainly because of the post position. I think you have to be considerably the best to win from out there. She might be. I like the fact that Carl worked her since he got her on May 20th. So I went Autostrada over True Blue Sky, and Hourglass Figure is intriguing to me. She likes the turf as well, has primarily raced over the turf. A couple outs ago took on boys. I think Hourglass Figure will appreciate this level of competition and the fact that she's back on turf after her race got rained off of it last time. So I took her as the 3rd pick. $1,842 to carry over in the high 5 to that 7th and final race. And that's a really interesting race because we really didn't talk about Austin City Girl, the morning line favorite, who stretches back out again. She's been 2 turns before, but stretches back out again off kind of even sprint tries. So obviously she merits a big look. These are all older mares, by the way, older fillies and mares. So it's going to be interesting there. But 7 races, got some I think some fairly heavy favorites sprinkled in, but I think there's some opportunities to mix it up a little too, and it should be a good night.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. 7 races to kick off a 4-day race week.
Yeah.
Saturday free hats.
That's
for
right.
people that come out
Get
here.
out early, noon,
First-
gates open.
Yeah, first 1,000 guests through the gates would pay admission and get a free Lone Star Park hat. Sunday, Father's Day.
Yeah,
Let's kick it off. Let's go 7 for 7 tonight.
that would be nice, wouldn't it? we both couldn't go 7 for 7 since we don't have the same horses,
Picks,
but
yeah.
maybe our top picks can combine for 7. I don't
I'd
know
be
if that's
happy
ever
with that.
happened. That would be a good accomplishment if the show could go 7 for 7.
We'll start keeping an eye on it. We might. We
Yeah.
get lucky every now and then.
I look at it normally at the end of the day, or between races, who has who, just to see how we're doing. I don't ever recall us combining to go 7 for 7. Probably during the quarter
Yeah,
meet.
I was going to say quarter horses
50%
might have.
winning favorites for a while last year in the
Yeah.
quarter meet. But anyway, all right. Dave back in the paddock today.
He is.
All right.
I'm
Rodney
glad he's
was
back in the paddock today.
on Sunday. Yeah, it's hot. All right. Thanks so much for looking in. Good luck on your Thursday.